Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, beautiful souls. I am Alicia Barney Matahari, the Heart Whisperer. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Drop-ins and newcomers, it is so wonderful to have you here. It is truly an honor and a privilege to read for you today. So thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. I'm so grateful and I adore you all. Today, we are doing another pick a card reading, and we are asking, what do they miss about you? So it could be anyone. I'm leaving it open. We have 3 piles today. Pile number 1 with this beautiful soul card, pile number 2 with this soul card, and pile number 3 with the soul card that had some nudity, so I had to cover it up. So take a moment, decide which pile is for you, and I will be getting started with pile number 1. Timestamps will be in the description box and in the comments for those of you on your phone. Take care, and I'll see you at your pile. Welcome to your pile number 1. We're asking the question today, what do they miss about you? So you chose this beautiful soul card that has this figure, and I'm noticing the energy coming out of the right eye here. You also have Purva Ashada, the former invincible one. Sagittarius energy, healing, card number 29. Root chakra, blank card from animal medicine deck, and porcupine medicine. Gorgeous. So I'm noticing first and foremost, these two are jumping out at me, and it's healing, which is breaking down to an 11, and root chakra. So that is suggesting to me that you bring balance. What they miss about you is the balance that you brought, the harmony that you brought to the environment. And it is suggesting to me that you may no longer be in that environment. So this could be a family that, you naturally moved away from. Your life path took you on some sort of adventurous path, which maybe, let's say you live overseas. And I'm getting that from the Jupiter energy here. Sagittarius, it naturally is designed to be an explorer. So you could be someone who has that to go out and be an adventurer and to move away from the family rather than be a home bird. That's one possibility. Maybe it's a work situation that you used to be in where you brought this combination of healing and stability to that space. So maybe you're great in a crisis, or you bring a stability inside of chaos, or you're good at putting in systems. Healing is suggesting to me that it could also be something like maybe you come from a family that experienced family trauma and you are the cycle breaker. So that's another possibility. And in that case, you could be someone who had to move away from that system in order to heal and in order to stabilize in your own root chakra. And with that can come things like, guilt tripping and scapegoating and gaslighting. You could have been parentified. You could have had CPTSD, for example, or something like that. Not necessarily, but that's one possibility. So maybe you were the heart of the family, because I'm getting heart energy from the healing, and maybe you were that stability in the family. But whatever environment you were in, you brought that combination of healing and stability, which brings me to Purva Ashada. Purva Ashada, it's ruled by the goddess Appa, and she is a goddess of the river. And if you think about what the river goes to the sea. And they have that saying where you never stand in the same river twice because the river is flowing. So you've got that power and that energy, that vital force. But what they miss about you is your strength. You have that vital force. You have a quality of leadership about you, but it's very strong in the feminine. Like, you're good with teamwork insofar as the leadership of teamwork. You know how to select good members for a team, for example. Let's say if it was a place where you used to be a leader or a manager or something, even if you didn't have title of manager, you brought that leadership quality into the team or into the family or into the friend group or into the insert community here. Purva is the initiator, and then Uttara is the pair that pairs with it, which would be the end of the process. And if you think about it, it says the invincible star, the power to invigorate. So to go from just having raw materials to having something that building an active, alive, sustainable system. So if you were to create a business out of your skills and talents, maybe you had to have a day job when you were doing that, for example. To have that kind of energy, to almost go from just the raw materials and, let's say, inertia, it takes a lot of energy and patience and love and care and dedication and nurturing to build that into something of substance, to build it into a going concern, to build it into a profitable business, to build, let's say you're writing a book, for example. It's reminding me of this guy I dated once upon a time, and our friend wrote a book, and she was an academic, and she had also gone and done her PhD, and she went to, she was in Oxbridge. So, it was no joke, really. And I've never written a book, but she had. But I remember at the book launch, him making the comment going, oh, it's only so many pages, and like laughing under his breath. And he was joking, but at the same time, so inappropriate, because we were her friends, her guests, and she didn't hear him or anything, but just the energy about it. And his best friend was there and just said to him, like, how many books have you written? And just that energy of kind of putting somebody down who's built something up. And anyone who's done a PhD, which I have not, but I've known many people who have done a PhD, like, it's a really, really long road, and there's a lot of investment, and they get to the stage where it's like, is it ever going to be done? Am I ever going to have those letters after my name? So it's giving that energy of having to really be a self-starter, really having to pour yourself in, really having to build something up. And anyone who's built something up from nothing knows of all of that time that's invested in, where nobody sees the fruits of your labor, but you know all of the work that you're doing behind the scenes. And it's reminding me of that Chinese bamboo parable, where the person is planting Chinese bamboo, and from years one to 4, they're being ridiculed by their neighbors because they're like, are you sure you know what you're doing? You're investing in that time. You've planted the seeds, you're nurturing it, you're watering it, you're talking kindly to it, you're taking care of the space, you're tending to the space. But in year 5, it grows 90 meters in 6 weeks. So it's giving that, your ability to do work behind the scenes and maybe be not understood, maybe even as far as be ridiculed for it, but being able to put in the hard yards and being able to just stand in your own power and in your own knowing that you're building something, and to have faith. And that brings me to porcupine medicine, because porcupine medicine is interesting because it's a reminder to be playful. And porcupine reminds bear that you're never too old to play. And bear recognizes that porcupine is right. And porcupine is by nature a gentle, social, playful creature. And yes, it has quills, but those quills, which are poisonous, only become a danger when they're in fear. So that's leading me back to the root chakra and the healing. There may have been times where you have had to have your quills up. And actually I'm seeing the 12 here. I'm seeing the 11 and the 1. That's giving me 12. And then Sagittarius is associated with December. So that's giving 12, 12, 12. So that is significant. So 12 might be a number for you. You might be seeing 12, 12 a lot. And you might have a lot of, Jupiter's also the idea and the energy of expansion as well as exploration. So you might have that giving, thy cup overfloweth. So you might be very strong. Jupiter is also associated with wisdom, the ninth house, and being a teacher. So you may have been very wise. You may have been someone that people came to for guidance, that people came to for advice, and being kind of in that consultant role, whether it be formally or informally, or whether you even ever got, props for that invisible work that you were doing behind the scenes. You may have been someone who was doing that again in the workspace, in the home space, in your family of origin space, as a child, in your friend space, whatever, resonates for you. And then if you think about the river as well, that power to invigorate, like around rivers, that's where towns are built. The bend in the river is notorious for where towns are built. So it attracts people, it attracts animals, and the river collects like all the nutrients from the landscape, and it gets momentum as it heads towards the sea and gets larger and greater. And I'm hearing that song as well. She is all this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she is mine. That's Sarah Bareilles. She used to be mine. Really, really beautiful. What they miss about you, pile number one, is your strength, your resilience, your leadership. And I'm hearing strength with heart. It's giving mama bear. But porcupine medicine is also, my goodness, you have the sun. Porcupine medicine is also synonymous with innocence. It is the porcupine medicine on the medicine wheel is at the south, and that's where the soul enters the medicine wheel. So that's newer souls, younger souls. So I feel like you may have been teacher to some younger souls in some of the environments that you've been. And that mama bear energy is giving the ability to be strong and be nurturing and be a protector. And also having the gentleness and the light of hand and the ability to play with the cubs and to be able to take care of them. You have got the Three of Wands. So a lot of fire energy here. We've got Leo, we've got fire, the Lovers, oh, beautiful, Gemini, Mercury energy, and a decision. You may have had to make decisions about who you have in your life if you did come from that, let's say the family curse energy. If others in your family did not, if that's the lineage that you came from and others did not choose to also remove the toxicity that was within all of you, probably. That is what family curse is. The Hermit, Virgo energy, the moon, the sun and the moon. Wow. Oh, it's reminding me of that song, Jacob Banks. Slow up. There might be some messages for, oh my God, and the star card. And the sun is a star. Wow. Oh my gosh. You have got the sun, moon, and the star. You are a guiding light. They miss your wisdom. They miss your light. They miss you helping them navigate. They miss your inner light. They miss your ability to be able to help them make a decision. They miss your ability to be creative when faced with a problem and help them to reframe things and to be creative about how to deal with an issue. But they might not have given that back to you. With the blank medicine card, what I'm feeling, especially with this spread now that's come out, is that you were the medicine. You had porcupine medicine, but you have a medicine that has not yet been determined. You're literally creating the medicine. It's back to that song. She is all that and mixed up She is all this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. So that's a story of, it's from the musical Waitress. And it's all about the story of how she has overcome her challenges. And yeah, maybe she'd go back and make a few different decisions, but she is where she is. And her life has shaped her, like the river shapes the landscape, like the landscape shapes the river. You bring this feeling of home. You bring this feeling of safety. You bring this feeling of your way of being in leadership, in followership, of being in community, is to harmonize in the environment, but harmonize with nature, but also be true to yourself. Stay true to your truth. Stay true to your philosophies. Look for creative ways of expressing. You have great passion and you love hard. You love those, you protect those that you love, but you're also not afraid to be alone. You go within for your light. You don't look to others for your light. I mean, look, the sun, the moon, and the stars, you're incredibly reflective. You reflect others back to them, but you do your own reflecting. And I feel like you're probably one of these people that would think, I'd like to meet someone who could reflect back to me the things that they say or that they don't say, that I reflect back to them, if that makes sense. Sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful. But yeah, it's really beautiful energy, pile number one. We've got multi-dimensional. That makes so much sense as well. At this stage, as we're going from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, like the big themes are technology and beyond human, other realms, 5D, galactic, circle of life, clear energies, channel. You are this channel. You are this channel for this divine energy. We all have access to that divine energy, but you've done some healing. You've stabilized your root chakra. You're able to connect into the earth, as well as your crown chakra is, this is the colors of the crown chakra is just wide open. You have a strong, clear, and open channel. And I feel like whether you know it or not, and whether you have an active practice of doing this, or whether you would call it that at this stage, which I feel on this channel you probably do. But who knows? Maybe you just like to commune with nature quite a lot. And the power that gives you, the cleansing, the reset that gives you, that sets you into harmony with nature, with the energies of the cosmos, with natural law. Arise. You lead others to arise. Again, I'm seeing you being that guide, the Jupiterian energy and the star. Star it's a card of renewed hope. And if you think about, the star comes after the death card and the devil card. So you've been through some stuff for sure. Oh my gosh, cosmic heart source. Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of stuff happening with Neptune right now. So we were talking about Mama Bear energy, which is giving, in this case, it's kind of giving me Venusian energy, that temporal love, earthly love. But Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, and that's the elevation, the higher frequency love, the love of the cosmos, the love of our guides, the love of the angelic realm, the love of Great Spirit. You are an absolute channel for all of these energies because of how you show up, because of the work that you've done on yourself, and because of just probably the way you express, the way you spend your days, the way you just do you. Really beautiful energy, pile number one. I'm going to leave it there. If this resonates with you, please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Give me a thumbs up and drop an emoji in the comments. Do a star or a heart with the sparkly stars or something like that. And I hope to see you at another reading. Bye, pile number 1. Hello, 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 pile number 2. You chose this beautiful soul card. I am going to pop your 2 up here and your soul card here. And the question that we're asking today is, what do they miss about you? You have Shadabisha, card number 24, Aquarius energy. You have a second nakshatra card, Chitra. Virgo into Libra, that's Mercury into Venus energy. You have the card of Remembrance. And you have the blank card from the Animal Oracle deck. So with Aquarius energy, that's Uranus energy, and that has themes of being ahead of your time, technology, beyond the human, altruism, humanitarianism. And the deity is the god, is the Lord of Space, God of Space, Varuna. And you're great at taking blank space. You're great at creating something out of nothing is the way I want to put it. And I'm hearing that phrase, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form into another. So space is one form of uncondensed energy. And within that space, you're able to take ideas and bring about something tangible. And I don't mean you wave a magic wand and go abracadabra and something appears. That's not what I mean. If you take a step back from it a little bit, it's kind of talking about consciousness and form. Is it better to be an ideas person, or is it better to be a builder? Well, it's reminding me of yin and yang. And if you look at the symbol for yin and yang, there is yin inside of yang and there's yang inside of yin. The truth is we need both. You can't really separate them out. You need to have good ideas to create good outcomes, to create good product, to create good structure, to create good form. And you also need to have the ability to be able to build on those ideas to create good form. So it goes both ways. And I feel what they miss about you is that you have just a very out of the box approach to a creative approach to solutions that they really admire and miss about you. We also have, next to that, we have Chitra, which is Mercury and Venus. And Mercury is intelligence, it's communication. And Libra, Venus, is that beauty, love. And for me, Chitra, it's the brilliant one. It's that multifaceted gem. But it has that kind of applied beauty is the way I think of it. Intelligent beauty, like I'm thinking architecture, that kind of thing. It's got a quality of being regal and elegant and majestic. And even the multifaceted gem itself, there's that structural beauty in it. There's an intelligence to it. And I'm hearing the phrase from Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. There is a thinking stuff. You have a really good mastery. Like you're an incredible manifester, but it doesn't mean that you wave a magic wand and you create something out of nothing. It means that you're good at working with ideas and you're good at setting intentions and following through on those intentions through your actions and through your practice and using the forms that are around you to create into form whatever it is that you're building. And sometimes those forms may not be 3D tangible. And what I mean by that is it can be something like the relationships that you build. Anytime you have 1 and 2, you also have a third, because there's a relationship between the two. And that's what you're good at, that connective space, those connections, recognizing patterns, creating ether into matter. And what is space really? It's uncondensed energy relative to, let's say, what mastery is. I'm also noticing that the 38 here breaks down to 11, 3 and 8. But then we've got here 6 with the 24, and we've got 5 with Chitra. And that's another 11, 11. I'm seeing that jump out at me also. And the soul card is interesting because this person is almost, it's like this person is a root. Like with your roots, you create a portal. And look at all of this white space here. That's giving me the idea of that ether being almost navigated, like swam through, played with, pondered. And then from that, form is created. And with remembrance, this always reminds me of the way I think about it. It's got a real galactic feel to it. So it's kind of my galactic shaman card. It's got that, the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything we have gone through as a soul in a body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. So you're drawing on a lot of your knowledge and wisdom from past lives. And you carry that innately just in your aura. I feel like the way I want to put it, what they miss about you is your ability to really work with the cosmos, to work with nature. To them, you're magical. They're like, how on earth do they do this? How are they able to see patterns that like nobody would even think to look for? But I feel like it is that you're able to see more than the average bear, for want of a better word. And what I'm seeing very strongly for you is that you're very, very adept socially. I would call you a social engineer, and not in a cold or calculating way. I feel like the social part, the feminine, the yin part is really compassionate and beautiful. I'm hearing love engineer, and not engineer in kind of I'm trying to manipulate someone. It's just that you're very good at understanding the components and working with the components and flowing well with the components, and also going in harmony with what that consciousness is, with the naturalness of it. You're never trying to force something. You create a space and you allow what it is to flourish. Really, really gorgeous. I'm hearing the space that you create, pile number 2. I'm hearing that I want to live in your world. And I'm hearing shock absorber. The energy that you create, like you create this, almost this buffer, ace of emotions, which is Ace of Cups. You create this energetic buffer that when you leave a space that people miss. 8 of materials. 6 of materials. See, we've got cups here, which is intuition and depth, emotions, maybe even money. When you're around, people could make money. And then we've got pentacles here. Page of voices, that's air. That's page of swords. 4 of wands. 4 of inspiration in this deck. And we'll take one more. 2 of inspiration. Yeah, and in this card, we have 2 cards where she's looking out. They're looking out. So you have that looking beyond your environment into, I want to say, into other realms, into the cosmos. What they miss about you is your really unique flavor of being able to create a space and making them feel like they want to be in your world. That's what keeps coming through. I want to be in your world. It's like you create a portal to an imagination, to a world, to like when you're around, it's like, you know, in those movies when the winter ends and the sun opens up and the flowers start to bloom, like you bring that technicolor energy into a space just with your energy. I don't really know how else to describe it. You're hardworking as well. You're not afraid to put in the effort. And then the Six of Pentacles, that's my Care Bear card. And that's the joy of giving. You enjoy giving. And that would speak to the humanitarian energy as well, and that altruistic streak that people perceive in you, or people feel in your presence. And Page of Voices, like new ideas, lots of new ideas, probably a tremendous amount of downloads, ideas, fresh ideas that need to be nurtured, and that you know which ones to nurture and which ones to celebrate and which ones to build upon. And then this always gives me a spirit of adventure, always looking to, you know, setting out on a new quest, setting out on a new adventure, setting out on a new project. Arise. I think this might have come up in pile number 1. I can't remember. Know and flow as the love you are. Bliss. Cosmic self. You are a cosmic being. Stay confident in your truth. I think you help people recognize that in themselves. Like they may not have come across somebody like you. And that's being reiterated for me with the Rainbow Child, Indigo Child, Unstoppable, New Earth Builder, multi-talented, miraculous alchemy. That's that idea of building from the unseen in a way that is unexpected to people who've always done it. You know, you have to have a plan. You have to have 2.5 kids. You have to have a picket fence. You know, not, I would say unconventional, but also I feel with the Pentacles that you also have a very practical side to you. Like you're not away off in the clouds. Like people may not understand it, but then when you build it, then they get it. Then they understand. They're like, oh, okay, that's what they were working on. But you probably get a lot of pushback on your ideas in the beginning. But when you bring them to fruition, then people understand that. So it's very much that theme of being, you know, a trendsetter, ahead of your time, that kind of thing. And I think this could very much speak to, you know, you go into spaces and places, communities, and people haven't come across someone like you, and you shake things up. And by the time you leave, you've completely transformed the space and you're off onto the next thing, and elevating up and working with a new group of people in a new job or in a new community. Maybe you travel a lot, maybe not. Really, really cool energy, pile number 2. I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated with you, drop me an emoji, maybe a globe, or a heart in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you at another reading. Bye, pile number 2. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. I am Alicia Barney Matahari, the Heart Whisperer, and you have chosen this beautiful soul card, which I have had to cover a little bit because she's got some nakedness. So I'm just going to slide your soul card up here. We'll take a look at your oracle cards, and then we'll pull you some tarot. So we are asking, what do they miss about you? First up, you have got the Nakshatra card, Pushya, Holy in Cancer. You've got the card of Conception, card number 16. You've got the card of turtle medicine. And you have got the ladybird medicine card. This deck comes with some blank cards, so this is one that I added myself. And let's get into it. First of all, what I'm noticing jumping out straight away is the colors of this beautiful soul card. Look at all that gold in the angel. It's giving earth angel. It's giving you're very protective and you're very protected. So I feel like you being very protected, you have an energy about you that's calm and that feels protective to others. So I feel like, you know, that, what's the word? Guilt by association, but the reverse, like protection by association is the way I want to put it. And all these beautiful colors, the golden and then the violet and the white, really bringing that celestial energy into your existence here on this incarnation. Very beautiful. And then with Pushya, we've got the purple again, which is giving intuition, that kind of indigo third eye color to me. And what's jumping out at me also is we have got conception here, which is 16. That's a 7, 8, 5 and 4 is a 9 and 10. So there's an element of progression that people experience in your presence. And maybe when you leave, they feel that things have either stagnated or maybe even feel like they're going backwards because you have this beautiful energy of moving forward. And of course, the cow symbol of Pushya is not giving that like bull in a china shop energy. It's giving this, you know, kind of slow moving, natural progression that's just flowing, that's in harmony with nature. It's giving the law of gestation to me, which is an understanding. We've got conception and then we've got the cow, we've got the nurturer. So this idea of in your energy or in your company or when people are in your world, you have this ability to create a fertile environment. It's kind of giving Empress energy as well. So being around you feels like you're in this fertile valley, if that makes sense. And Cancer also has a shell, and then it's ooey gooey on the inside, and Cancer moves side to side. It doesn't come directly at. So there's that feminine energy, feminine quality where you can walk with somebody or you don't have to come at them directly. And I don't mean that as in kind of deceptive and that you're manipulative in any way. Sometimes, like when you come at somebody completely directly head on about something, it can flare up some sort of triggering or it can flare up some sort of resistance, especially when it's something sensitive. And I'm hearing that song Fragile by Tech Nine. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shoes. So I feel like people can trust you with things of the heart, things that they're sensitive about, things that matter to them, like their art, their relationship, their children maybe. We've got this idea of conception and nurturing. And then we've got the idea of turtle. And turtle is the oldest symbol of Mother Earth. Well, I don't know if it's the oldest, but in the shamanic tradition, it is a symbol of Mother Earth. And the shell is a representation of protection. So we've got protection here. We've also got protection with the Pushya card because we've got the shell with the Cancer. And also I'm seeing protection with the soul card. So we've got this almost like I'm hearing the law of gestation cycles. So bringing something into life and nurturing it, tending to it, and then allowing it to blossom and being around it and appreciating it. when it blooms and when it blossoms. So I feel like you would be a really good person, again, to share, let's say, a creative project with. But with Turtle, one thing about Turtle is that she buries her eggs in the sand, and then when she leaves them, and then when they're ready to hatch, they do hatch from the inside out. And then the little baby turtles make their way to the ocean, but it's under the father sky. So you've got that idea of Mother Earth, Father Sky, but you're very strong in the divine feminine energy is what I'm really getting for you. Like that's where maybe you express more. We all have divine masculine and we all have divine feminine within us, but some of us express through one more strongly. And the obvious example would be like men versus women. That's just a kind of a literal example. And then I'm feeling also that there's an idea of beauty. What they miss about you is that it's really coming through very strongly. You're a safe person to share their ideas with. And it's also giving the idea that they've learned from you by example as well, because you protect your ideas and you allow them to hatch when they're ready, not before. And you also, by example and by not coming at them directly and interrogating them about something that they're working through or processing. And it could be something like, let's say, a trauma or a pain or something, a hurt or something that they need to grieve. Like you allow them to come to it in their own time, but you're able to be there. I'm getting like you're like the sun in terms of you provide radiance and energy and life force. So in the processing stage, and then you're almost like a fertilizer in terms of the love and the nourishment and the peace in the environment that you provide, and the protection that your energy provides allows whatever that is that's gestating to be loved and to be nurtured and to grow in safety. And then once it breaks ground, once it is ready to see the light of day, whether that's now I'm ready to talk about something that's really sensitive or something really bad happened to me, or even something really great that I want to bring out into the world. Now I'm ready to share it, and you're a good first person to share it with. That's what I'm feeling. You not only appreciate that it's something that's coming of their essence, of their soul, of their heart, and you treat it as such. And then you reflect back to them in, I'm hearing mother's milk. And of course, Cancer is very strongly associated with the moon. And I was called to use this deck for your tarot cards, which is the Muse deck, which again is really singing to the feminine. You've got the Ace of Inspiration, which is the Ace of Wands. You have the Emperor card, which is Aries energy, Major Arcana. You have the Nine of Emotions, which is the Nine of Cups, fulfillment. You have the Nine of Materials, which is the Nine of Pentacles. 2 nines, wow. And actually 3 nines. You have the Moon. We just talked about the Moon. You've got the Moon with Cancer energy. Beautiful. You've got Justice. Wow. The Emperor, the Moon, and Justice. And you've got the Five of Voices. Gorgeous. And I'm noticing the similarity in the imagery of these cards. You've got you've got the two, this almost splitting energy. And we were talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And that really speaks to, if we look at your tarot cards, this is something. Wands energy is that thing that gets you out of bed. It's that spark. And it's a masculine, it's fire energy. It's not exactly an element, it's a process. And it needs to be paired with other energies, or it can fizzle out. The Emperor The Emperor is the embodiment of all four kings: the King of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Air. I was forgetting the other one, the King of Swords. So you've got that beautiful balance. So you've got all this balanced energy and mastery, because the king would be a level of mastery to nurture this spark, whatever it is, this burst of raw energy into something that brings wish fulfillment. And being around you, people, they not only learn from you by example, but they also feel the benefit of that, and they also follow your example. And then with the 9 of materials, that's both the 9 of emotions and 9 of materials. These again are feminine elements. Earth is feminine, water is feminine, and water is life. And water brings life to the pentacle realm. And then the moon. The moon again is another 9, 18. I didn't notice that. So you've got 4 9s. So I feel like that they miss that you're really there throughout the life of something for them. And justice, that there's a balance and a harmony. And I'm seeing this might exist from past lives as well. The ladybird actually sometimes is known as the beetle of Mother Mary. So that's that divine feminine also. But the ladybird is associated with past lives. So I'm wondering if some of the people who really do miss you are people who have been with you in past lives, and now there's a balancing and the end of something that they've been working through. So for some of you, it's some people who you really help them kind of close out things that they have been working on for lifetimes, things that had them split in their energy, where they felt like they just had to face and they had to move through, but it was painful and it had them stuck in their head. But you being with them and sitting with them and not coming at them directly and being kind of like, well, just get over it, or just this, or just that. You know, you hear those phrases, how like men will try to fix women, but women just want to talk about it. Like, you have that ability to be present with someone through their creative process, through their healing process, through their whatever process. You're able to be with them through the process. And once it comes to fruition, you're not ever trying to glom onto somebody else's success. You're not, what do they call that? I forget the name. I forget the phrase where you kind of glom onto somebody else's success. But you're never trying to do that. You always reflect back to them the work that they have put in, the fulfillment that is truly theirs. You're there to celebrate with them. You're there to celebrate them. You're not trying to pull focus. You don't have main character syndrome. You've got a really motherly, nurturing quality about you. And when you move away from people, or, you know, they say people come into your life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. Anyone that was there for a reason, or anyone that was there for a season, when you're not in their life anymore, they're really able to appreciate this energy that you brought them, especially in hindsight, looking back. Beautiful, beautiful energy, pile number 3. I'm going to leave it there. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I hope to see you at another reading. Do give me a thumbs up if this energy resonated with you, if you liked the reading, and drop an emoji in the comments for me. And I am sending you lots of love. Take care, pile number 3.